Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Today we are going to set up my budget planner for the end of 2024 and 2025. I'm actually going to start my budget planning, my new budget planning in November. So I create inserts to set up my budget planner, and I have printed all of these. I will do a quick flip through and then I am going to set up the planner. And so yeah, let's get into it. So I think budget planning is a very personal journey, and I've tried different types of planners, and so I basically landed on just printing what I needed, and so that's where this planner comes from. I do start with a 2025-2026 calendar. Even though this is an undated planner, I always like to have a motivational quote to kick off the year. I go right into, let's see if I can move this over so that it's not as much in shadow. Sorry, the time of day, it's just kind of late. But I go right into self-reflection, which is really important for me. Reflecting on why I'm doing a budget, what's important to me. That's a part of budgeting that's super important to me. I love this year at a glance because I can just write down whatever major activities I have coming up that's related to my budget, and then I get into goals. But back to goal setting and self-reflection. Budgeting to me is more than just writing down numbers. I like to plan, go through organized goal setting. So I have annual goals and then quarterly goals. And then I break down my quarterly goals into quarterly actions. So it's really guided, and that's what works for me. And then I have these goal worksheets so that if I have a specific goal that I really want to focus on, I can dive a little bit deeper. And I only have a couple of those. This is available on my shop. I'll have linked down below. And if you get the printable, then of course you can print as many of these sheets as you want. And after my goal setting, which is what I have at the beginning of the year, of course, I get into my financials. So I like to do an annual financial snapshot. It's just kind of like all the income I'm expecting, any major purchases I have for the year. I like to have that there. And then I also do quarterly budgets. And I do 1 quarter per page, and it's just kind of a summarized budget, but this helps keep me on track for the quarter. So it's like it's not minimal, but it's an abbreviated budget. And I do one for each quarter. I usually set this up as the quarter comes. So I'll only set up like the first quarter. And then I have a debt overview so that I could just have a quick snapshot of all of my debt. I don't like this page, but I have to have it, because I'm not debt free. And then I have a financial snapshot where I can just kind of take a quick overlook at any time of how I'm doing with my budgeting. I have a credit score tracker in here, and then I have where I list my bills and subscriptions. And then, so this is a little bit different. So I want to pause and take a moment and talk about this. I have what's called a sinking and challenge goals sheet. So the reason I have this is I love to see people do cash envelopes, but I am not a cash person. Let me see if I turn on this light, if it'll give us more light. No, I think it's going to give a glare. That's okay. Okay, so I love to see people budget with cash envelopes, but I don't use cash. Let's keep it real. I don't know that many people who do, honestly, except people on YouTube doing cash envelopes. I mean, I get it. I get the point, and I love it. I love the concept of it. And so I need to replicate that for someone who uses their debit card. And I still want to do the challenges, like the 52-week challenge or the 100 envelope challenge. All those things I want to participate in, but I don't do cash. So the way I address this is having a sinking and challenge goals tracker sheet, which is just, if I'm going to start a challenge, let's say it's the 100 envelope challenge, I would come in here and put my start date, the name of the challenge, my goal, and then I would check off when it's done. So I'm just listing the challenge here, right? So this is a whole system, right, that's going to work together. And this is the first part. I would list my challenge. And then I have, so this is double-sided in case I want to do a lot of challenges during the year. And then I have a sinking and challenge savings tracker because I'm digital. So I have a savings account that is specifically labeled sinking and challenge savings. And what I do is whenever I make a deposit into one of my challenges, I record it here and I make that transfer into that account. So instead of transferring into an envelope, instead of putting cash into an envelope, I'm putting cash into one account. And instead of having like 10 different accounts, like an account for each challenge, I just have one account that says sinking and challenge savings. That's why this first page is important, because I know how much is in the account per challenge that I'm doing. And it's sinking and challenge because I may do challenges, or I may have a specific sinking fund, anything that others would use a cash envelope for, or a cash stuffing challenge is what this is designed to replicate. And I love it. It took me a long time to figure out how to make this work. And so I'm super excited to try this. This is a big change from my other budget. And so, so I have a couple of sinking and challenge savings because hopefully I'll be doing a lot of those and making a lot of those deposits. And then along with that, I of course have a long-term savings account. And so this is just whenever I make my savings deposits for various things. Let me give you an example. Let's say if I had a challenge of a 100 envelope challenge, and I ended up saving $2,500 in that 100 envelope challenge. I would probably transfer that money from my sinking and challenge savings account to my long-term savings because, that may be why I did the challenge. You don't always do challenges to spend the money. Sometimes you do challenges just to save. So that's how that is going to work. I'm super excited about that. That's in my annual section because I'm going to track that throughout the year. Now, I have some support documents in my monthlies to work with that as well. So let's get into it. So this is my monthly cover page. I love this. By the way, this is the seasonal decorated version. In my store, I have a neutral version, and this is, I think, the fall winter seasonal. And the neutral version is just pretty much all black, and it doesn't have the foliage on there. So I start off my months with a monthly overview. And this is really important to me. It's just a snapshot of the month. It's a quick summary of what income I'm expecting, any expenses, especially large expenses. I do a lot of travel and entertainment. So if I have anything planned for that month, it's there, whatever savings I have planned, and then a quick to-do list related to my budget, and I have an open space here. Now, how is this different from your budget? Well, this isn't really itemized. This should be a summary. It's an overview. It's a snapshot, and that's how I use it. Sorry about the focus. I'll try to keep an eye on that. So as I get into the month, I do have a monthly budget. A lot of people do a paycheck budget. I don't do a paycheck budget necessarily because I find that I just don't have the time to do it. It takes a lot. I do get paid weekly. I also get paid semi-monthly. So it's just, I have a lot of paychecks and it's just cumbersome. And I've tried that method and I always abandon it because it's too much during the month. But I do need to stay on top of my cash flow. So I do a monthly budget. This is your standard budget with your bills, your variable expenses, your income. You're used to seeing this. What's a little bit different for me is that I have this monthly cash flow page. And this kind of replaces my paycheck budgets that you'll see other people do. And so I would label this like week 1, week 2, week 3. I have a couple of pages in here. I think I have enough for 4 or 5 weeks. And each week I just have, again, a summary, an abbreviated version of a full budget so that I can just track what money is coming in and what expenses I have for that particular week. That's what's most important to me. So I love this monthly cash flow page. And that's in every month. And then I have a monthly summary page. And it seems like I'm duplicating a lot, right? But the monthly summary page, this page actually, I fill this out and I do a summary of what I expect to really spend during the week. What I, a little bit of income, but what I expect to spend during the month. If I need a 5th week, I'll just add it in the notes. But the reason I have this is a separate budget planner. I have a catch-all planner. So I take this page out and I put it in my catch-all planner, you guys. So I fill this out in my budget planner and then I take it out and I put it in my catch-all planner. And actually, let's see if I have it here. If I'm being truthful with you, what I actually do is I keep this page. You'll see me set it up. I keep this page, let me grab it, in classic size, right? Because my catch-all planner is a classic planner. So I will take this out and I'll put it in the classic size. And that's so that I can easily transfer it to my catch-all. Then I get into my monthly goals and actions. And this is just kind of setting what goals I want to work on for that particular month. This is never filled out like, it's enough room for 4 goals, but that's a lot to do in a month. So this space is open. You can do as much or as little as you want. The goal for me is to keep things simple but focused. And again, I need guided help for my budget. I need more than just writing down numbers. I need to plan. I need to reflect. I need to have goals, and I need to have actions related to those goals. So that's what that is for. Now we get into our weeks, finally, right? So, of course, as you would expect, my week looks a little bit different than normal. I have an expense tracker per week, but then my weekly section is not set up by days. It's actually set up by categories because this is a budget planner. And what I need to do is have a running total of how much money I've allotted for that particular category per week. Yes, I keep track of it, all of my expenses on my expense tracker, but I need to see it per category. That's what I need. So this is why I've set up my week like this. So for example, let's say I have budgeted $100 for groceries for that week. As I spend on groceries specifically, I'll come in here and write Publix $25, $75 left. Walmart $20, $55 left. And at any moment, I can see what I have left in my grocery budget for that particular week. I also have a spot to put any bills that I'm going to pay that week and meal plans. I don't do a full meal plan. That's why this isn't abbreviated. If you download this from my store, you can rename this something else. But I shop for one person, so I don't need like a bunch of space for meal planning. I really just need to write down a few meals for the week, if I'm being honest with you. And then I have a spot for a nice little habit tracker. Maybe it's a no spend, maybe it's a stay off Amazon, who knows. But I love that during the week. And again, this is undated. And so I balance this out with the expense tracker. So that's what my weeks look like. Now, what I want to show you is that these budget amounts that I put in these categories actually tie back to this monthly summary. So when I do my monthly summary, I would say, oh, for week, I've budgeted $200 for groceries during the month. So I'm going to spend $50 in week 1, $50 in week 2, maybe $25 in week 3, $75 in week 4. And that's what I would put here. And so this is what transfers over to my catch-all. So that when I'm looking at my catch-all on the day-to-day, I know how much I've budgeted for that particular week as I'm planning for that week. So it ties to this, right? Because if I said $50 for week 1, when I fill out week 1 in my budget planner, this will be $50 as my grocery budget. So that's kind of how these pages work together. So each week, I have 5 weeks in each month. It's set up the same. And if you download this and you don't want to do this by category and you actually want to have days here, you could either just insert a daily page, or you can just cover these with boxes and put Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, split the 6th box. Okay, so at the end of the month, I have a space where I reflect and celebrate on how I did with my goals and my budgeting for that month. And I like to do a 30-day challenge every 30 days, so I have that in here as well. And that's what each month looks like. So in this packet that I've printed out enough for 3 months when I set up my planner, as we're going to do in just a minute. So the other months look the same. And then I also printed out all of my challenge sheets. So this is kind of like an annual. I won't print these again unless I need to, but these are the challenge sheets that I include in my 2025 budget. I have just a general savings challenge where there are multiple challenges per page. I have a 12-week challenge because I'll be honest with you, 52 weeks is a lot for me. It just is. I like to complete things a little bit quicker than that. So I have a 12-week challenge, and I have a couple. And then just again, some general savings challenges so that you can be flexible. I'm all about being flexible with your budget. I have a savings for page. So if I'm saving for something specific. So these are challenges and trackers, right? Extra trackers. A travel budget. I love to travel. And so I need to set travel budgets. And behind these challenge and trackers, it's just an open page so that you can take notes. Vacation savings, emergency fund trackers, long-term savings. These are just kind of extra pages if I need more long-term savings pages, if I need more expense trackers during a month. So these are just kind of extra. If you get the printable, then of course you can print this as many times as you want. You can print extras of these pages. And then I have a cash envelope tracker, so to speak, if you're interested. But yeah, it's basically if you have a goal and you want to mimic cash envelopes digitally, there's a visual in here for you to do that. I think that's fun because I love the cash envelope system. I just don't deal in cash. And then a debt reduction plan, a no spend challenge, a savings jar. Again, these are kind of general savings challenges. Another general savings challenge, a $1,000 challenge, and a $2,500 challenge, and a home purchase challenge, or home maintenance challenge, I should say. So that is the printable. This is the budget I'm going to set up starting in November, and it's going to take me through 2025. So I just want to take a minute and show you where I'm coming from, right? I'm actually going to a big for my budget. I was using a classic, and I just felt like I needed more space. I loved this. The changes I made for 2025 are based on how I used my budget in 2024. And so, yeah, I decided to go ahead and make the jump early because there were changes that I was making, and I just needed to make those changes as soon as I could because it just wasn't 100% working for me the way I really needed it to. So I went ahead and updated some of the pages, and I'm going to switch over to a big. I actually am using a modified Happy Planner notebook, and I loved this styling, but it's time for something different. So let's talk about what we're going to use. We are going to go with a Happy Planner disc bound big, and I actually got this planner from Amazon. The planner cover I got on clearance at Happy Planner. I love this cover. I kept an eye out on this cover for a long time, and then when it went on clearance I snapped it up because I love the color and I love the texture of it. So I really love this. Let's see. Okay guys, sorry about that. I had to do a little bit of a cut. I apologize. I was trying to zoom out to get this as straight as I could so that I could show you how I'm going to set this up. And I'm going to try not to hit the camera, but I know that I will as I go through this. So yeah, let me try to adjust this again. Okay guys, this is the best that I could get it. So yeah, let's jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I got this planner on a great deal a couple weeks ago at Amazon, And I purposely got a really bright cover, but I love these kind of like see-through covers, and they're at a less expensive price point than the normal Happy Planners, but I love these. And so, yeah, this is what I'm going with. This is a notes and plans. So if you flip through this really quick, I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. It comes with, and it's undated, so it comes with some stickers in the front, which is great, and some dating stickers. And then it has a notes page, your perpetual calendar undated, and then it has this modified currently page. Let me just say for you guys, I hate the currently page. I don't understand why it's in the back of the month. It's not something that I ever have liked. So I actually like that this is in front of the month. It makes a lot more sense to me. That's just me. But it's an undated monthly, and then you have another notes page, and it starts the next month. And so you have 12 months that comes with this particular planner. I think the price point of this is the big is probably like $24, which I think is about $10 less than their normal big planners. And then the classic size of these types of planners are like $19. And then in the back, you have these poly dividers. They are not decorated. I actually really like the poly dividers. I don't know if I love these colors, but I like that they're not decorated and I can reuse them. So, and I like that they're bright. Of course, the colors will match whatever planner you buy. I bought a really bright planner. That's why these are really bright. And then you have notes pages in the back. All of this works for me because it's the perfect structure for me to customize a planner. And in this case, I'm going to customize a budget planner. So you notice that I have already punched. I used just the Happy Planner punch to punch my printouts, and I'm just going to pop them in, and that's really going to be it. So I'm going to start with the annual section, which we've gone through. So I'm just going to take the entire annual section. Let's see here. Try to do this a little quicker. Yeah, so this is the entire annual section. And I am just going to take it and start popping these right in here. Right? And so as I do this, let me just say, one of the reasons I went from the classic to the big is just that I felt like I needed more room. And the budget planner is not a planner that I take with me. I don't keep this like on my work desk every day. You know, it's a planner that I plan in at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the month, and then I keep it off to the side and I reference it. And so I thought the budget planner would be a great planner to use the big for, because it's not, I don't need it to be mobile. So, okay, these are all of my monthly pages or my annual pages. And so you notice the next section goes right into the perpetual calendar. I really like that. And then, actually, I think I may want my perpetual calendar after. So I'm going to pull out the perpetual calendar. Let's see if I want to put that after my, yeah, I think I might. I think I want to put the perpetual calendar after my annual calendar. And so this is why I really loved this planner from the Plan and Notes collection from the Happy Planner. You cannot move things over this nicely with the full planner. Oh, I tore that page. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Yeah, you can't move things over this nicely with their regular planners because everything is front and back. The dividers are front and back, and it's really just a nightmare if you want me to be truthful with you. So, this is the annual. So now I'm going to set up each month. And I printed 3 months. I think I printed 3 or 4 because maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. I generally print 3 months at a time because I do, I actually do quarters. And so, but since I'm starting in November, I think I may have still printed 3 and I'm just going to go through January. And let's see. So these are my monthly pages. Let me grab a month and figure out how I want to set these in here, right? So this is a full month. Okay, and this is the monthly overview. So let's see. I believe I want to do my monthly overview and then my budget right away. And then monthly cash flow and monthly summary. Yes, that's how I want to do that. So through the monthly summary, and then I'll go, after the monthly summary, I go into the planning that I do for the month. And then at the end of each month, I have my goals and actions, right? I'll fill this out at the beginning, the first page at least, right? So after the month, it goes right into my weekly. Okay. And this is how I prefer this. Awesome. And then it wraps up at the end of the weekly with my reflection and my 30-day challenge, and I go into another month. And so I have another month here, right? So put another month. I could be a little bit more gentle so that I don't tear pages. How about that? And I get into my monthly summary and I get into my month. And then I go into my weekly for that month. So these are my weekly sections, right? So I'm building my own planner, and I cannot say enough, you guys, how much I love this planner and notes. And they do sell this in the classic size. This is almost like buying the really expensive Happy Planner custom planners that they have that I have not bought because I think they're too expensive. So yeah, it's almost like that for a fraction of the price. And so I go into the next month. Yeah, and I think I did print 3 months. Because I usually print it per quarter. Since I'm starting kind of like halfway through the quarter, because October is actually the beginning of the quarter, and I'm starting in November, I just printed enough to go through January, because this is going to be the budget planner I use for 2025. And in January, I'll just print February and March, and then I'll get back on my system of printing the quarters. Okay, so I don't really decorate in my budget planner. I usually decorate the monthly, so I should have enough space to keep these in here. But if not, then I will take these out, these extra months, until I need them, and some of the extra notebook paper. But for now, I am going to take my dividers and put my dividers in the appropriate places. I have 3 months because I do a quarterly planner. And then the 4th divider will be my divider for my extra pages and my challenges. So let's go back here and go to the 1st month, which is here. Again, guys, be a little bit more gentle than I am. And then I'm going to go, I think this is my 2nd month. And then I believe this is my third month. Okay, so after my third month is where I will put in my trackers, which is actually, this always stays at the end of my planner, at the back of my planner. So once I put in these trackers, I will close the planner and see if I need to take out those extra pages. And I probably will, just because I don't want the planner to be so cumbersome, even though it just kind of sits on my desk. So yeah, let's put these in here. But yeah, as I do this, how do you guys budget? I love watching budget content creators and budget videos on YouTube. And they've inspired me, no doubt. Especially watching the cash envelope, the cash budgeters. I just don't use cash, y'all. And I ain't trying to use cash. It doesn't work for me. I've tried it and it just doesn't work. So I've struggled a little bit trying to replicate that process, but do it, you know, for someone who doesn't like to use cash. And so I'm really hoping that this system that I've come up with now works for me to do that. Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to have to take out the extras. And that's okay, because I set up my planners to be 3 months. Yeah, it is way too tight. Okay, that's okay. Like I said, that's completely okay. So I am going to take out the extra months until I need them. Be a little gentle with this because I've already torn a page. So and I'll just put these to the side in one of my other planners. I'm also going to take out some of the notes pages. I love notes pages in my budget planner, so I'm not going to take all of these out. Probably just enough that I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't even think I'll use 12. 6 probably for 3 months at a time. Yeah, and so I'll take out the rest and put these back in here when I need them. Okay, this becomes just sorting these pages. All right, these are my extra pages. I will store these. And this is my new budget planner. I am going to take, let's see here if I have any tweezers. I don't know what I did with my tweezers, but I am going to take the labels and label them. And I only usually label the front, actually. I know that there's enough to label front and back, and I don't generally do that. I generally just have to be careful with these tweezers because they will punch through the paper and tear these labels. There we go. So I'm just going to turn this to the side really quick and put these labels on. And you can use any labels that you have. I don't know if I really like these paper labels now that I'm putting them on. I probably will use, I have some gold labels that were actually in my other planner, and I think I'm going to use those. Let's see if I haven't used them all up. Yeah, I think I like these a lot better. So I am going to use these. Let me take these off. Oh yeah, I like that much better. Let's put December. And then let's do January. And I'll probably do a special label at some point for that tracker. But right now I'll just leave it unlabeled. And then I'll just stick this in here so that I can access it easily. And then the last thing that I'm going to do, remember these pages that I said I transferred to my classic? I am going to go into each month, and where I do that summary, which is after this cash flow, I'm going to stick this in here. And I could actually remove that page, but I'm not going to remove it. I'll probably remove it when I get to that month. And this way, when it's time for me to transfer that over, I can easily. And so I have one of these for each month. I have to say, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone combine sizes in their Franken planning like that, but I think that's going to work very well for me. And I think it's just a great way to go from planner to planner when you have multiple planners, especially things like your budget, because I do put in my catch-all, I do put my budget stuff on my calendar, but I don't want to necessarily refer to 2 planners every time I'm planning. I just don't want to do that. So that's a really nice way to avoid that. Let me put this November sticker back in here. I could use it somewhere, so I don't want to waste it. Where did I get it from? Right there. Oh, who knows if I can use it. I don't know, but I'll put it back in there just in case. Okay, so this is my budget planner. It is set up for 3 months, from November to January, and then in January I'll set up the next 2 months for the first quarter, and I'll be back on track. So thanks for watching. I know this was a long video. I hope this inspired you guys to get ready for budget planning, and don't wait to 2025. If you need to make a change, make the change. Do what you need to do now. These inserts are available on my Etsy. The store is linked in the description, and they are available to purchase, I think only in the big size, but you can look up how to shrink it for Happy Planner Classic. I think it's like 80%, 82, 83%, something like that. But yeah, thanks.